wish someone told you about guns when you first started shooting?
They're addicting.
Hey guys, this is hanging, or fucking Jesus Christ. It's Cooking with fucking Nathan. Obviously. Fuck. This is.
Oscar Luna, Luna Tactical.
Yeah. And today we are going to make a fucking, no, it wasn't pancetta. It was carbonara, Argentinian carbonara.
It's about right.
Should be good. I hope. What do you do, man?
I teach people how to shoot guns.
Oh, yeah. And would you say business is pretty successful as of lately?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, people are needing more guns, and the people that don't have guns are realizing they kind of want one.
Now, since I met you, I think the same time a lot of people met you, after quarantine and after the riots and whatnot, would you say business has soared in California at all?
There's a shortage of guns.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, during the height of COVID, as things started to open up, a standard Glock.
Yeah.
And gun people out there like, yeah, basic Glock, 6 months out.
So what is it like teaching people how to shoot?
First timers are interesting because everybody comes from a different walk of life. Mm-hmm. Everybody's had a different experience. You know, there's some preconceived notions to it. There's some, you know, different hang-ups when it comes to it. Mm-hmm. Then there's always, you know, people that are like, hey, I've seen TV. I know how to do this. Bussy.
Yeah, right.
So that all plays into it. But on the most part, you know, beginners, if they're listening, they're paying attention, they slow down a minute, breathe, it's going to be a good experience. You know, they're going to pick it up, and we're going to be successful in teaching them how to do it and understanding how the firearm works and how it all kind of comes together.
As a man who sells guns and does all the gun stuff, why California? What makes you stay here? Because if anyone knows, it's not exactly the most gun-friendly place.
No, it's not. California is definitely one of the most restricted states in the union.
Yeah.
You know, I'll even go and say something controversial and say the state doesn't want you having guns. There's a lot of hurdles. There's a lot more controls in place that really slow down the process. You know, as you and I have talked about, it's like you can't just go in the store and buy 5 guns at once.
No.
Not going to happen. You know. But I guess why do I stay in California? Born and raised. Funny enough.
That's good. Now, what is your feelings on all that? Like, your just personal feelings, like on the 10-day like cooling off period, like. I don't know.
I haven't seen any statistics that show that a cooling off period is going to prevent a mass shooting, somebody doing something stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually look at the last couple mass shooting schools, the kids that have done it had really exotic high-end ARs. They didn't have a cheap AR. An 18-year-old working a fast food place dropping $3,000, that doesn't happen overnight.
No.
There's some planning already there to begin with.
Yeah.
I think all in all, I mean, you know, guns aren't going to go away anytime soon.
No.
You look at the general public, the walks of life buying guns, the phone calls I'm getting for training. I mean, 70% of my clientele is women. You know, a lot of them want to take their self-defense into their own hands. They don't want to feel victimized. They understand that, you know, unfortunately, you call the police department in most jurisdictions, you might even get an answer machine telling you to hold on until they can answer your call. Well, some maniac's kicking down your door, that's not an option.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then the people that already have guns are starting to want to become more proficient with them. They're realizing that just owning it, shooting it once a year is not going to get you anywhere where you want to go.
So if you needed to tell someone, like, let's say they were like looking for like a little bit of home defense, and I've watched a bunch of different videos on people saying like what they think the best home defense gun is. What would your opinion be? I know that's almost a trick question.
The easiest that makes most sense is going to be a handgun. Most of us have loved ones, have pets. You know, a shotgun requires 2 hands.
Yeah.
You know, a handgun, you can open the door, close the door, use the phone, call for help if you need to call for help. So it's a little bit more practical.
What do you wish someone told you about guns when you first started shooting?
They're addicting.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, I think
I wish someone told me how much ammo was gonna cost.
that might have scared you away, but
that's fucking like, oh, get the gun. Wait, how much is ammo? Fuck.
yeah.
What was it like? Does your family, were they gun people, or just something you started doing?
Yeah, I mean, basically, my dad was into firearms. My parents immigrated from Guatemala, Central America.
Okay.
Had 4 boys. I'm the oldest of 4 kids.
Okay.
And my dad was into it, you know, having served his country. He was like, hey, you know, I'm exercising my right and be able to buy a gun. And it was like, hey, you guys are good, grades are good, you guys are behaving, take guys shooting. And there was a lot more areas, land where you could shoot on growing up.
Yeah, because down that way, there was a bunch.
Well, there was a place just off opposite direction when you exit to go to Magic Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Away from Magic Mountain, up in the hills there, you can shoot. So, got into it like that as a young kid. Really enjoyed it. Was like, this is cool. It progressed to when I turned 18, and as soon as, you know, at the time when I was growing up, 18, you could buy a rifle. So, lo and behold, 18, I was at the gun store, right up in line, going, hey, let me buy that.
What was the first one?
Mini 14.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, back to the CCW thing, you know, what's interesting is, you know, the person that applies goes through the training, they submit their background for a background check again at the time, fingerprints, they do an interview, photo, the whole 9 yards. There's no statistical evidence that shows that people with CCWs are out committing crimes.
Huh.
And that's something. I'll even touch upon the California CCW requirement. I think it's very lenient.
Yeah?
I mean, next time we shoot, I'll bring you a B-27 target, which is what most of the jurisdictions, it's a very generous, big target. So if you stand square up to the camera, it would be bigger than your chest.
Oh.
And make you look tiny.
Oh, really? Just like how far away is the...
The distances can be, you know, it's usually no further than 12 yards.
Oh,
and you
really?
shoot at 3 different distances. Each county picks their own requirements, how many rounds, and you just basically gotta, you know, you can even miss once or twice and you'll still pass. Which for me, I think, you know, I'd like to see a little bit stricter.
Yeah.
To Nevada, you take the class there and you apply there and everything like that. But theirs is a little bit stricter. Theirs, you even have to shoot with your non-strong hand. So I'm a righty, shoot with both hands, but you have to also shoot with your left hand, solo hand.
Oh, damn.
So they really want to make sure that you're proficient. And I agree with that, because if you look at the ramifications, somebody pulls out their gun in a self-defense situation in a crowded parking lot, they miss.
Yeah.
That bullet's going to go somewhere.
Oh, can you talk about the job that you used to have?
Loss prevention? Or which one?
Yeah, when you worked for the company, Gucci?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you talk about that?
Yeah, what do you want to know about it?
Just anything. Like, I want to know, like, how'd you get that job, and like, what did that entail?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so started my career in law enforcement with Santa Monica PD's Harbor Patrol. And if you say Baywatch, I'm going to toss this through the room.
If what?
If you say Baywatch, I'm going to toss this through the room.
I didn't say Baywatch.
All right, just making sure.
Yeah.
Making sure.
I think that's good.
So dealt with pretty much criminal, homeless, and gang members on the Santa Monica Pier, the beach, and the adjacent area. And at the time that I had been mentored to get into law enforcement, a lot of people who were mentoring me were leaving to the private sector. They were just jumping ship as quick as they could get out of there. So I did a little bit of self-thinking and realized, you know what? This might not be the career path I want it to be, and had an opportunity to go into the private sector. Immediately left there, went to go work for Giorgio Armani in loss prevention, and progressed through different retailers, and ended up doing about 12 years with, mix it all up?
Yeah, mix it up real nice.
Did about 12 years with Gucci Group, and at the time it was cool because anybody that saw the movie, Domenico De Soli, Tom Ford era was a very interesting era for that side of the business, luxury retail. And there I was basically in charge of the security guards that were in the store, the in-house loss prevention, and all the internal investigations, as well as trademark things and what have you. So there I was running a lot of details, moving jewelry, Academy Awards, you know, tribute to style, a lot of that. And that was interesting, you know.
So how long did you do that for?
12 years.
12 years. What made you leave?
Tired of traveling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just was it on a plane all the fucking time?
You know, it's cool till it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when you're on a really first name basis with your dry cleaner, it's not good.
Yeah. So if you could tell anyone one thing, and I only say guns because I think that's a very thing that you're very, very knowledgeable in, what would you tell them?
Do your research. You know, if you're gonna buy something, do the research on what you want, what it is gonna entail. Seek out training, whether it's professional training or friends that are already doing it. Don't just assume it's something you can go out there, buy it, and read the owner's manual, and you'll be okay.
Yeah. All right. Shut. Shh. All right, let's try this food, man. What do you think?
Works.
Yeah. There's things I want to do different with this, but I think this has got some good bones to it. Thanks for trying this with me, buddy.
You're good, man.
All right. Why don't you tell them where they can find you, what's new, what's going on, all that stuff, so I can use the food.
Well, my webpage is lunatactical.com. So we've got a little bit of info on me, classes, just tells you a little bit about what I do, as well as there's a contact buttons on each page there. You just hit the contact button. You can send me a little message. You can schedule a meeting if you want to just meet up on the phone for about 15 minutes. We can chat. I don't mind talking, you know, reach out. You have a question, reach out. I don't really think there's a stupid question. Send it, I'll answer it.
He can talk. I've seen him do it. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in with another episode of Cooking with Nathan. If you've liked the channel, like, subscribe, follow, all that shit. And tune in next time for another episode of dramatic talking and eating food. Bye.